And good evening, everyone. My name is Robert Wayne Harden, and we're here to discuss teen bullying and the ramifications that should transpire if you are a bully. To stand up for someone when their voice has been silenced is very honorable, but it should be more about honor. It should be very much personal. As a teen and a preteen, I was made fun of. I was called sissy. I was called girly, and my ever favorite, I was called faggot. But sexual orientation is not all that the kids are being teased for these days. There's race, there's religion, and there's handicap. They seem to top the list of what the kids are being harassed for. The acts nowadays seem to be more hostile and more violent than I can ever remember them. Today, kids are taking their own lives in order to silence their bullies. One definition of bullying: an act of repeated aggressive behavior in order to initially hurt another individual physically or mentally. Bullying is characterized by an individual behaving in a certain way to gain power over another person. Let me ask you this. Has anyone in the room ever been bullied? Raise your hand. Okay. Did you know it happens every 7 minutes? Every 7 minutes in America, someone is bullied. We live in Marshall County, where in 2006 there was an estimated 87,000 people that live here. According to the National Education Association, 160,000 children, that's almost double our county's population, miss school every day due to attack or intimidation by another student. American schools harbor approximately 2.1 million bullies and 2.7 million of their victims. That is more than the population of the state of Alabama, and that's a third of the population of the largest city in the United States, New York City. 1 out of every 20 students has seen a fellow classmate at school have a gun. 43% of middle school and high school students avoid using the school restrooms in fear of being harassed or assaulted. According to CNN Newsroom, 50% of students say that they have bullied other kids, and 47% say that they have been the victim of the bullying that seriously upset them. What do people do about it? The first thing that they do is written complaint, which means that you just go in and you tell the school what's happened. Second is they choose a committee to investigate it. The third is whatever the school decides and finds there to be wrong. The fourth, is the appeal process. And the final is the punishment. What I'm proposing is that we have a safe place at the school with an officer who is there from the open of school until the close of school. If an incident happens, a police report is filed. The police do the investigation and report back to the school. At that point, the bullies, and in some cases their parents, are charged with crime. In the first offense, suspension, a physical evaluation, and mandatory family counseling. Second offense should be expulsion and criminal charges for both the parent and child. The third is probation. The last thing that should happen in the second offense is special needs schooling that should deal with anger. When you've reached the third offense, it's very obvious that you're not really trying. You should involve DHR at that point for the child. You should further criminal charges for both the parents and the child. You should revoke any probation that's been done up to that point. You should possibly put the child in a juvenile detention center, or you should put him in a boot camp setting. When the fourth offense happens, it should just simply be juvenile detention and or jail time, depending on how serious the bullying is and the age of the child. Most bullies in high school, when they graduate high school, they end up in jail. They end up in jail for charges such as rape, sexual deviance, for assault and battery. You know, today kids avoid after-school special, riding the bus, visiting websites. They even ditch school, and in some cases, use suicide to silence the words and actions of the bullying that's being done unto them. They want it to stop, they need it to stop, and when left alone in the end, when it is so bad they cannot muffle the harshness anymore, they make it stop. They end up hurting other people and sometimes hurting themselves. In conclusion, we as adults, voters, and lawmakers have an opportunity to make a change. How many coffins will it take for us to do something about this? For us to break our silence? Thank you, everybody, for coming.